Bam. Bam. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. You guys know what we do. We talking boxing. And by the way, it's a beautiful day today. Don't matter if it's hot, if it's cold. The bottom line is, if you're breathing right now, it's an amazing day. Thank you, God, for giving us another one. Yes, sir. Let me give a shout out to those already in the building. Salute, Toy Mafia, Side, Devin Ford. What's the deal, family? Yes, sir. West Dustin with that like activated right away. I appreciate you, big dog. Underrated Will in the building. Yes, sir. Whoa. Out heat sweating. Mr. K.O. in the building. Salute, family. The Hydro Grind. What's the deal? The letter M. Fellas, Devin Haney reportedly signed for over $100 million with Zuffa Boxing. Show me the money. Show me the money, my peoples. Where the haters at? Where the haters at? Come on now. Come on, my peoples. The Hydrogrind J. Smith, it hurts your algorithm so much when you start the live at 8 a.m. and you're not there because people come in and leave. So YouTube thinks it's because it's not interesting. The letter M, salute to all y'all. Box Center, healthy dose. Ooh, the healthy dose getters. The letter M, yo, J. Smith ain't puntual. And he be skipping out on shows. Whoa. There was no The Show at 8 p.m. yesterday. Oh, at nighttime it might. You see, at nighttime is different. But Boxing for Breakfast, bro, since it kicked off once. One day I didn't do the show. Since it kicked off. Over 100 episodes. Over 150 episodes at this point. I gotta count them. But let's get back to the main point, fellas. $100 million. I think the Hydro Grind opened up with that statement because he's been a non-believer in Zuffa boxing. And they dishing out the millions, fellas. Remember the narrative that Zuffa wasn't going to be able to get the big names because they paying too little. And remember that pay scheme that we seen before, that Excel sheet with the numbers, like, oh, they just going to get this much. So everybody was like, nah. The Hydro Grind was like, nah, it's not going to work out for Zuffa. They cooked. First, we seen about them signing Jai Opataya. Like, oh, is this a one-shot deal? They got one guy. They signed Conor Ben, $15 million for one fight. They signed Edgar Berlanga, Richardson Hitchens. They signed a bunch of other names that we know. And now, Devin the Dream Haney goes to Zuffa. And Teofimo Lopez. So, you guys have to remember that it was recently, it wasn't even that long ago, that I said to you guys, Zuffa Boxing is going to sign, big names, and they're going to sign enough of them, and within the same weight classes, that we're going to see a Zuffa event, one of these Zuffa cards, where the main event will be two big stars. Look, just imagine. They try to pull off Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez. Reportedly, I don't know if this is true, Teofimo's the one who's not all in on that fight yet. But Devin Haney, what they're saying is that he even signed the contract already. He ready for that. Boxing Fanatical, it's probably a 5-fight deal, $20 million a fight. Could be. But it's not that. You know why? Because Bill didn't say $100 million. He said $100 million plus. So it's over $100 million. Probably over $20 million a fight. The letter M. How many fights for that $100 million? You see, we don't know that. We don't know that. But even if it's 5 fights, you done secured $100 million for 5 fights. If you're making $20 million a fight, For 100? Come on now. Think about it, 5 fights, we're talking about 2 years. You do 5 fights in 2 years. Devin Haney will be dead in the center of his prime after this deal is up. If this is a 5-fight deal, I'm giving you, an example because we don't know, right? But if this is a 5-fight deal, Devin Haney will be like 31 years old and 100 million in the bag. Marie, I don't believe that $100 million shiznit. The letter M. I think maybe a 4-fight deal. The Hydro Grind. They'll always be putting some extra sauce. Look. We're going to find out soon enough. We'll get more details as far as how long he's going to be with Zuffa for or whatever. But ultimately, we see that Zuffa's dishing out the money. They're going to be signing the stars. Whether or not you believe that they getting that type of money, I believe it. But just think about this. Conor Ben got $15 million for 1 fight. Do you think Devin Haney's going to get less than a guy like Conor who has never won a title and isn't as popular as Devin? So if they gave Conor 15 mil for 1 fight, I don't have a hard time believing that they'll give Devin 20, 25 million per fight over a 4-5 fight span. Why not? Why not? Why would I question it? So right now, man, it's looking like Devin Haney's the big dog, making the big bucks. The letter M to announce 10 events. Make you roar. Bill is the dad. I wish I had. Whoa. See? Look, that's the one thing about Bill Haney. Whether you like him or you don't like him or however you feel about him, you can't say that he's not a great dad. Look at how he take care of his sons. He a father. And look how far he's taken Devin Haney and the type of star that he turned him into. So whether you like him or not, you gotta respect him. DJ Hecky, Devin is definitely getting the bag for sure. I know he is. They ain't gonna be posting about no $100 million deal for no reason. Hell no. You know how goofy he would look if they come out and say, hey, we didn't give him that much money. That's crazy. The letter M, how much will you ask for from Zuffa? Me? Psh, nigga, give me $200,000 a year and I'm good. DJ Hecky, I think Benavidez should chase greatness and fight Usyk. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And I'm going to tell you why. He is chasing greatness. He's chasing greatness without having to fight Usyk. Look, that's the problem when you're a great fighter. People always feel like you got to chase greatness by fighting people in higher divisions than you. Do you know that Marvelous Marvin Hagler, for his entire career in one division, he never moved up, never moved down? His whole career, one division. One of the greatest of all time. So the notion that you got to move up and fight that guy in another division, that's a false narrative. Look, they did it with Crawford. Oh, he should move up and fight Benavidez. Same thing. He the best. People see him as the best. Oh, he got to move up and fight some other guy in another division to prove it. Some people even floated around the idea of Crawford going to heavyweight and fighting Usyk. So that's always going to be there. But they forget. Let me give you another example, because I told you Marvelous Marvin Hagler for his whole career in the same division. Floyd Mayweather never went above 154. Nobody asked him, yo, you got to go to 160 to really prove that you're the guy. You got to go to 168. You got to... Greatest of all time. And look, Oscar De La Hoya fought in higher divisions than Floyd. Tito Trinidad fought in higher divisions than guys who fought in the same weight classes as him moved up higher. And nobody knocked Floyd. No, that's not a knock on Floyd that he didn't become a champion at 160 and 168. And nah, you don't show greatness by moving up over and over. That shows greatness. But you also show greatness by staying where you at and dominating everybody where you at. That's greatness too. David Benavidez does not have to go to heavyweight at all to prove where he's at. Look, he's already, think about this, he's already number 5 in the pound for pound list. Man, we're going to talk about that. We're not even done. We're going to talk about that. Daisy, what kind of business person will give so much money to a fighter with a low market value? Who decides the market value? Daisy. Because you can't decide the market value. How exactly do you decide that Devin has a low market value? Because they decided that Devin has a high market value. So, there you have it. Their decision is that he does have a high value. And he's come on, Daisy. Devin has been making millions of dollars for years. He's been making, this kid has been making millions and millions of dollars for years. Market value been high. Took a little bit of a stumble when he got beat up by Ryan Garcia, but market value been up. And his stocks skyrocketed when he did what he did to Brian Norman Jr. Skyrocketed. JJ said that has, bam, salute, family. The letter M, 250,000 for Jay Smith. You hear that, Zuffa? Jump on it now. For that low, today's price won't be tomorrow's. Oh, you're right about that. I'll do it for cheap now. Zuffa, The Zone, all of them, ESPN. I got you for cheap. Because, you know, I'm going to get to a point where it'll be like, yo, today's price is not yesterday's price, buddy. DJ Hecky, that's the false narrative they create. Pop, you're correct. Yeah, my guy, that's, you know, there's always been that narrative that the best fighter got to move up and fight somebody else that's in a bigger division to prove it. God damn, wow. He already been proving it, if you think about it. The guy's number 5 on the pound for pound list. If you look at the top 10 on that list, everybody deserves to be there. Everybody's super accomplished. Which, by the way, we're going to be talking about that. They're going to be talking about that because we got, I think we're all going to have some good points to make when we get there. Devin Ford, you have to stay in your lane. Keep doing what you're doing. The letter M, everybody moves up except Tank Davis. In that case, he can dump weight. Dump weight division. I mean, you're right about that. You're right. And you know, I've been vocal about it. You know, Tank Davis moved up to 135 when he was 25 years old. 830, I think he's about to be 31. And he still, you know, 135. He fought one fight at 144. Went right back down to 135. So, that's it. I want to see Tank Davis, yo, go to 140. And by the way, to his credit, before, you know, the whole situation with Jake Paul, he did say that he was going to fight either Manny Pacquiao or move up to 140. So I think those are already his intentions, and that may be where we see him next. Devin Ford, Africa and Devin is going to generate, man. They're going to blow the door off the hinges in that venue. They're going to sell out a venue, and they're going to do crazy numbers. And it's what I said. Zuffa Boxing is aligning themselves to eventually have 2 stars face each other in their main event. And they was actually, it's reported, right, that they're actually trying to do Teofimo versus Devin. So, even Richardson Hitchens versus Devin Haney, that's a big fight. And Hitchens called them out. Wes Dustin, Pro Box. The boxing world needs you, Jay Smith. Man, listen, Pro Box could hit me up too. Bam. and we get it popping. West Dustin, Devin is fighting Africa, no. But he just called him out. Like, yo, what's up? Let's get it. Let's get it in 2026. It could happen. Now they're both on Zuffa. They're on the same side of the street. Easy fight to make right now. Pass the track. How many fights does Devin Haney need to fight to get that 100? I mean, I'm assuming it's probably a 4 or 5 fight deal. But let's say it's 5 fights. Right? Let's just say. I'm just throwing a number out there. Devin Haney's 28 years old. You do 5 fights in 2 years. 3 years. 3 fights in a year. And then 2 fights the next year. You got 5 fights. In 2 years, you do 5. Devin Haney will have finished that contract and he'll be 30 years old, sitting dead in the middle of his prime with already that 100 million in the bag. So the number of fights, all you have to take into consideration is how old you are and how much time it's going to take to do those fights. It's not going to take more than 2 years. 5 fights, 2 years. So Bill Haney put it out there. New deal worth over $100 million before 30 years old. Who's your manager? Bill Haney putting it out there, my peoples. This ain't no cap. Bill ain't about capping. Pass the track. If it was him, I'd bang out those fights as fast as possible, but they won't let him do that. I mean, they're not going to shove him. There's going to be a certain amount of time where he's going to make those fights. And I'm telling you, 5 fights, 2 years. 3 fights in the first year and 2 fights in the second year. There you have it right there. It's 5 fights. It's about the money. So those 5 fights are going to generate a certain amount of money. When they happen, they don't need to. Or let's space them out. We're going to have you fight once a year so we can lock you in for 5 years. That's not going to happen. Those 5 fights will take place within a 2-year span. I could pretty much guarantee you that. If it's 6 fights within a 3-year span, they done. Devin Haney, 31 years old, free agent, $100 million in the bag. Bill did his thing. We got to give his props to Bill Haney. Look, I think what happens with Bill is that people take it personal when they formulate an opinion about him. Instead of seeing the work that he's putting in, they look at, oh, well, you know, Bill, I don't like him. I don't like him, so I'm going to go against everything he do. But golly, 100 mil got people not even wanting to believe it's real. Bill Haney out there killing it, fellas. The letter M, Haney versus Ban. Make it happen. Beat him up. Beat him up. Look, again, Zuffa Boxing is putting together a roster where we're going to end up seeing stars facing each other. We're going to see it. So whether Devin Haney get in there with Richardson Hitchens, with Conor Benn, with Teofimo Lopez, look how many options are already there. We're going to see that. Those fights are going to materialize. And now you're also going to see a big star, high profile, big name holding that Zuffa belt. I told you guys before, the moment you have legitimate world champions, that me and you, that we all acknowledge, this nigga's a world champion. Yes, he is. When Zuffa start putting belts on those guys, that Zuffa belt is going to start to gain traction. It's going to start to gain strength. So right now, it's a trinket. That's Zuffa shit. Man, they put diamonds in it. Get the fuck out of here. But when Devin Haney put on the Zuffa belt, when Richardson Hitchens put on the Zuffa belt, he's gonna start getting a whole different meaning to it. It's gonna start adding a whole different flow. The letter M, Pookie Band versus Debo Dev. Whoa. Pass a track. Pass a track. Yeah, he's the face. So they want to get their mouths out of him with publicity. Can't say nothing about Bill now. But, you know, dude is going to think he's Jesus now and probably be more of a pain in the ass from here on out. Well, the thing about Bill is that he's not just talking the talk, bro. He walking the walk. So, look, let me give you an example. If you look at Ali, if you look at Floyd, if you look at the best, they talk shit. You gotta let them talk if they really doing it. How? Well, like, how can you really knock them? Underrated, well, yeah, they would. Pasta track, optics. The letter M. Can you see Zuffa titles even becoming a fifth body for Undisputed? No, I don't see that happening. I see Zuffa being their own side of the street. But now, you know, when Devin Haney holds that Zuffa belt, when Richardson Hitchens holds that Zuffa belt, and you start bringing in more big names who are going to hold that joint, it's going to start gaining traction. And the fans, we're going to start seeing it as a more legitimate belt. Because you have to understand, Devin Haney got a $100 million deal, right? Anybody that fight him for the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 fights, they're going to be fighting for that Zuffa belt. They're going to be trying to take that from him when he grabbed one. So the Zuffa belt is going to become relevant faster than we think, or faster than we thought. They're going to catch me by surprise. I already see it happening. B. Wayne. The Haney channels are going to claim the Zuffa belt is more important than Undisputed. No, so here's the thing, B. Wayne, that you have to understand. Remember, the Zuffa fighters will also be able to fight for the Ring Magazine belt. Thus, you will be able to have the Zuffa belt, claim the Ring Magazine belt, and thus claim Undisputed. Yeah, to y'all, according to y'all, you're going to be Undisputed with the Zuffa and Ring Magazine belt. But whether we agree or disagree as fans, we have to acknowledge that when you have somebody like Devin Haney holding that belt, it automatically makes it, you know, a more important title than what it is right now. Pasta track, I agree. But we know Bill is a goofball. Mickey Rourke. Hell no. Who wants to pay for that nasty Zuffa belt? Mickey Rourke. Make that bid 100% gold. Like the UK belt. I mean, hey, they got their diamonds. J.J. Zayas. Being a pain in the ass is what makes money. What you call a self-promoter. Man, listen, Bill is promoting his son at the highest level and has taken him to this point. Pass the track. Hopefully, they pay him in installments so he doesn't get wrecked in taxes. Now, that's always like that. They're not just going to give him $100 million. If the deal is, let's say, 120, they're going to give him 30 million after 30. Yeah, they're going to give him 30 million after every fight for 4 fights. You fight, bang, 30. You fight, bang, another 30. You fight, bang. Or sometimes they even structure the deal where you get most of the money towards the end. So your first fight, you get 20. Your second fight, you get 25. Your third fight, you get... And it goes up until your last fight when you make the most money. It could be that too. Mickey Rourke. Haney is a master promoter for Dev. Come on now. We have to see how far Devin Haney has gone. Matter of fact, you have to think about when Devin had that fight with Ryan Garcia. And you guys remember how that played out. He got battered. His stocks plummeted for a little bit. That's it. To a lot of people, Devin was done. He not the same no more. All of this crazy stuff. All of it. And look where they are right now. So they didn't allow that beating that he took from Ryan Garcia to change the path of his career. Mickey Rourke, if Zuffa is Zuffa based in Vegas? If so, those taxes look good. The letter M, yo, J, talking about the title. You seen that title made for Fury versus Joshua? The fight of Britain, big gold belt. We're going to talk about that, man. We're going to talk about that. Volta, Zuffa is OnlyFans. Mickey Rourke. Damn, man. Devin Haney done signed with them. So, Richardson Hitchens signed with them. Jairo Pataya signed with them. You're gonna be getting away from that point of view real soon. Mickey Rourke. A juiced up Ryan. And that left hook hasn't looked so deadly since. Whoa. I mean, whether or not he was juiced up, but he gave him the beating of a lifetime. You know, you can't erase that from people's memory, bro. Pass it track. Ryan gonna snatch that Zuffa belt. And then Ryan gets $200 million deal. Whoa. Well, Ryan Garcia is locked in with Golden Boy for now. Carl, Barrios fight though. In that fight, Ryan Garcia became a world champion for the first time in his career. You got to think about that. And I've always said he was going to become a champion at some point. But the guy becomes a champion at 147, legitimate champion, and you're using that fight to try to knock him? You got to find something else, bro. Not that one. Pull up Rollies. You know, he lost. But when he becomes a world champion, come on, bro. That doesn't work out too good. Pass the track. Ryan's a world champ, guys. That's what I'm saying. How do you bring up Barrios? Barrios is a legitimate world champion that he beat to become a world champion. You're knocking him for that? Golly, bro. Come on, man. Cut him some slack. For that, you got to cut him slack. B-Wing, Dana and Turkey licking their chops for Ryan versus Devin too. Oof. Look. They already got Devin Haney locked in. And I'm going to say something. Oscar De La Hoya, Dana White, you guys know that they hate each other. Cool story. Oscar already came out and said, yo, if they want to make the fight, Dana, give me a call. Now, Dana, he might, you know, that pride might be kicking in, and Dana might be like, nah, F him, we ain't calling him. He got to call us. And if they get on that mode, it ain't happening. But it's doable. However, Devin Haney and Richardson Hitchens, they both on Zuffa right now, fellas. They on Zuffa right now. They don't need to get no other promoter involved. This fight could be made. Richardson Hitchens himself posted, me and Dev 2026. What's up? Come on now. Mickey Rourke. Only way Ryan keeps his belt is if he beats the Ben Boy. Any other contender, he gets exposed again. I mean, I don't know what you mean by exposed. He's already a world champion. You know, the word exposed is overused in boxing. Well, what do you mean exposed? He became a world champion. You're not exposing anything. He fought, if he loses, he fought somebody that was better, and that's it. That's not exposing anything. But every time somebody loses, it's not exposing anything. They lost to the better guy. Pass the track. Devin doesn't want the smoke, though. Maybe Devin going out there kicking and screaming. But why do you think that Devin doesn't want the smoke? Because he wanted to do the rematch with Ryan Garcia. Things just haven't worked out business-wise. The letter M. Haney needs his Garcia get back. You can't let that beatdown slide. That beating, Devin took the beating of a lifetime. I'm not saying Ryan didn't cheat or didn't, you know, whatever the situation was, but it was still a beating. The Hydro Grind. Munguia is being a real puppet. He said he will vacate his title after Canelo fighting Bailey to let Canelo fight for his title. He will move down to 160. Oh, man. Goofball shit. But then again, he's training with that team. That's his guy. So you got to respect it. Obviously, he's not going to fight Canelo. He don't want a second beating. Claymore Rain in the building. Bam, salute, family. They're going to work because the zone want the big fights. It's going to have to be on neutral platform. Netflix. Look, man, it has to happen. Has to happen. Pass the track. Haney ain't getting no get back from Ryan. I think that's it's one of those that just has to happen. That rematch is too much money to be made. Way too much money. And Devin wants it. Devin wants his rematch. And they know that the fans want it. That's a major fight. It's huge. Mickey Rourke. Tank gave us the blueprint to beat Ryan. Yes, Jay Smith. He exposed he's a one-dimensional, or at least relies on the left hook too much and telegraphs it. Well, did you not see that right hand versus Mario Barrios? Consistently to the face piece, to the mouthpiece, and the nose piece? I saw it. Claymore Rain. If the WBC let that Ryan Bam fight go to purse, Zuffa gonna pick it up. Ooh. But can they pick it up? That's the thing, Claymore Rain. Can they pick it up? Because remember, they got their own. I mean, they could pick it up I think they could pick it up to stream it on Rhea Season. To stream it on Rhea Season? Because I don't know if they could actually do it for a Zuffa card. Pass the track. No. Ryan got a nice right hand now. He must have not seen his last fight. B. Wayne. I don't think Bill really wants to risk it. But I know Devin wants it. Claymore Rain exactly. On Rush Season or Ring Magazine. Okay, something like that. They could do that. They could make that happen. But check this out, fellas. Check this out. Look what Oscar De La Hoya says. Devin Haney can pay to erase his loss of paper, but none of us will ever forget the ass whooping that he took. That's why he need that get back with Ryan Garcia. He need that. Because ultimately, it's true. And Devin Haney's my guy. You guys know I'm a fan of Devin Haney. I'm a fan of Bill Haney. I'm always giving him his flowers. But I need to see that get back. I need to see that rematch. And I know you guys need to see it too. And at 147, where we've seen the best version of Devin Haney, the best version of Ryan Garcia, it needs to happen. Can it happen with Devin now on Zuffa Boxing? We shall see. We shall see. Claymore Rain. If they don't do that, if you sign to Zuffa, you can't fight for a sanctioning belt. It's out the window. It will be the beginning of the end for the promoters who ain't got the bag. But I want to say this, right? So far, we've seen two fighters, Jairo Pataya and Richardson Hitchens, end up without a title after signing with Zuffa. And we have not seen anybody from Zuffa fight for a main sanctioning title. We haven't seen a main title on the line on a Zuffa card yet. So that's where, to me, it's looking like Zuffa is just building to be in their own side of the street. He's going to be doing their own thing over there, and they're just going to be a major player in the game because they're going to be bringing in the big boys. But I think it's going to be rare that we see people from Zuffa fighting somebody that's with another promoter. I think that'll be rare. I think it'll only happen when it's like two big superstars. Whoa, major superstars. And it's like, we got to make this business happen. Like Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, that might, Claymore Rain Hitchens, let the title go. If Ben fight for the WBC, I mean, let's see. Let's see, because remember, he hasn't fought yet. Jairo Pataya held his IBF title literally until the day before he fought. Or no, right after he fought, they stripped him. Or right before or right after, I don't remember. So right now, Hitchens got a belt. But What's gonna happen when he fight? And then the WBC, you know, Mauricio Sulaiman definitely hate Dana White guts, and Sulaiman has publicly spoke out negatively about Zuffa boxing. Pass the track. So I don't think you could be on Zuffa and hold the WBC belt. They waited to take that from him. Pass the track. Round face Tank, when he didn't have many pro fights under his belt, and Tank said it was his toughest fight. I mean, Ryan Garcia is a good fighter. He's an elite level fighter. It's just that he's not liked, so people don't like to acknowledge him. That's what he is. The letter M. Zuffa is better off being a promotion that works with the other side to make the best possible fights happen. I think Zuffa would have been better like that. If they would have just been a promotional company, never came out with their own belt. We're just a promotional company. And we fighting with everybody. We mixing it up with everybody. I think Zuffa would have been better that way. But, you know, they have their own business model where they want to have their own league. So, to them, they're thinking big. We got our own league. Fuck it. We're not just going to be one of them. Mickey Rourke, who has the green belt in Ben Division. When you say Ben Division, are you saying, because he fought at 150, are you saying 147? Pause the track. Dana is an asshole. The letter M. Sucio Sulaiman or Dana White. Who is dirtier? Mickey Rourke. That's hilarious. His hardest fight. Not many pro fights. Anything to discredit Tank. West does it. So what do you think about Aliak being repealed? I mean, honestly, based on what I've heard from fighters, what I've heard from people that, you know, benefit from it, it should never be moved around. It should never be changed in any way, shape, or form. Claim or reign, they will have a league and promote fighters who don't want to be in the league. Mickey Rourke, 147. Guys, if you could refresh my recollection, who's the welterweight champion right now? The WBC welterweight champion right now. Claim or reign. Oh no, Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is the welterweight champion at welterweight. Claim or reign. Remember they said fighters can choose. Nick Khan will monetize all lanes. Jay is announced. Oh, here we go, Jay Smith. Tank. Mickey Rourke. Seriously, have to ask that question. Did you even watch that fight? So, my peoples, moving on to the next one for you guys. David Benavidez says that they're already in talks with Dimitri Bivol. The monster, the Mexican monster versus Bivol. Claim or reign, bet Devin. Don't drop the belt. We're going to see. We're going to see. Or maybe Devin is going to do like Conor Benn and he's going to fight on Riyadh season. Maybe that's the case. But will he fight on a Zuffa card with the belt? I don't know, man. I don't see that happening. David Benavidez. Dimitri Bivol might be next. All the talk about he got to move up and he got to fight Alexander Usyk. Cap. Those are the haters. Same with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, you got to move up and fight Benavidez. Now Benavidez, you got to move up and fight Usyk. When people see that you're the best, they always want you to move up and fight a bigger guy. No, you don't got to move up and fight the bigger guy. You got to dominate wherever you at. Marvelous Marvin Hagler for his whole career in the same division. He never moved up. An all-time great, one of the greatest ever. So, yes, if you're great, you move up and you win. But greatness is not about you moving up and winning. It's about you dominating wherever you at. It's about you beating everybody wherever you at. You don't got to move up. God. And hate. Snake hating. Big Talk Media, bam, salute family. Make it roll. Bivol is dangerous. Bivol will probably, most likely give David Benavidez his toughest fight. This might be one of those where Benavidez could even find himself behind on the cards and has to make a comeback. Or has to win the championship rounds to get the W. Or wins by split decision. Like, this is one of those fights. Remember what I told you guys before. To beat David Benavidez is going to take a fighter who has great footwork. Somebody that can move. Somebody that's mobile. Somebody that has a great jab and is going to make you chase. That's the type of fighter that's going to beat David Benavidez. And Dimitri Bivol has those tools and resources. You're not going to beat the Mexican monster by outgunning him. You're not going to beat him by going toe-to-toe, blow for blow. Better BF is going to get cooked. He's going to be like 42 years old when he fight Benavidez. He could. Strong fighter, durable fighter, all of that. But nah, Benavidez is going to cook him. Why? Because he's going to try to outgun him. And you're not going to outgun a guy who's going to put 10 punches in your face per second. Big Talk Media, Benavidez beat all these guys. So, but here's what there's some things I want you guys to take into consideration. Wes Dustin, best boxing chat on YouTube. Smash that like button. Appreciate it, family. My peoples, you know what it is, man. No ghost watching, no snake hating. Double tap that screen. Hit that like button. Fellas, David Benavidez versus Dimitri Bivol. It's a big, big fight. Major. And there's implications to this fight. Now, is it going to happen? I'm going to be honest with you. I think it is. I think we are going to get this fight. Why? Bivol's not going to duck. You guys know Bivol is really about that smoke. Being about that smoke. Look at the resume. So, Benavidez want to fight Bivol. Bivol want to fight Benavidez. That's a big fight. They both going to make a lot of money. Of course it has to happen. Of course they got to fight each other. And by the way, this is one of those action-packed type of fights. They really going to go at it. B. Wayne, I don't think Beterbiev is going to try to outgun Benavidez. I think Beterbiev is going to try to put a hole through him. But that's the thing. When you got the Mexican monster in front of you, that you land a good one, and he land 4, 5, 6 on your dome piece. Nah, you're not going to beat him. But look, Benavidez is not going to be outgunned by anybody in boxing. Unless he goes to the heavyweight division, that's different. If he goes to heavyweight, he could be outgunned. Below the heavyweight division, nobody's going to outgun him. You're not going to beat him. Jayo Pataya, oh my God, he get pummeled brutally. And that's my guy. I like Jayo Pataya. I like his style. Exciting to watch. Legit world champion. Benavidez beat him up. Beat him up. Yo, it's for the best that Jayo Pataya don't get that fight right now. It's for the best. He don't need to take that type of beating. He don't need it. He don't need it. Damn, where's my pound for pound list? Fellas, let me show you something real quick. Let me show y'all something real quick. Look at the pound for pound list. That's the updated pound for pound list. Skip a clipper. Bivol need to give Beterbiev the rematch. Passa track. Benavidez is on a run, and he's just got to pick his timing, jumping up to heavyweight. So look at the heavyweight division, my people, the updated list. Now, yeah, you know it. At the number 1 spot, and I said that he should be there after beating Junto Nakatani. Usyk number 2, Shakur number 3, Bam number 4, Benavidez number 5, Bivol number 6, Nakatani number 7, Haney number 8, Oscar Collazo number 9, and Navarrete number 10. Here's what I want you guys to understand from this list. Look at the top 5, y'all. Look at the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters right now. Now, yeah, you know it. Multi-time, multi-division champion, but also undisputed in multiple divisions. Alexander Usyk, undisputed in multiple divisions. Dennis Shakur Stevenson, who's a 4-division champion, lineal champion, multiple division, unified champion, multiple division. Dennis also Bam Rodriguez, who's been undisputed, also lineal, also multiple division champion. And rounding off the top 5, David Benavidez, who conquered another world title by beating Surdo Ramirez. But here's what I want you guys to take into consideration. If Benavidez beats Dimitri Bivol in his very next fight, he's beating a pound-for-pound fighter. Bam, he gonna lose that spot. Benavidez is gonna go ahead of Bam. And then Shakur, his number 3 spot is only secured depending on who he fights next. If Shakur doesn't fight a world champion next, and Benavidez beat Bivol, yo, Benavidez will jump all the way to number 3. All the way to the 3rd spot by beating a pound-for-pound fighter. So, when you look at that top 5, that list is going to move around. This year, that list is going to move around. And it already moved. We saw Bivol climb to number 1, Benavidez climb to number 5. When you look at the top 5, you know why it's going to move? Because Alexander Usyk is on his way out. And I don't know that he's going to be looking to fight the best at this point. Look, he's going to be fighting Rico, and he had expressed interest in wanting to fight Deontay Wilder. What if he decides to fight Wilder? So if Usyk decides to take the easy route at the tail end of his career, he's probably going to drop out of the top 5. Why? Because Bam might end up facing Inoue. Benavidez is now looking at Bivol. And then we got Shakur Stevenson. We don't know what his next move is going to be. So the top 10 pound-for-pound list is super crazy right now, but there's going to be some changes. There's going to be some shifting around. The letter M. Demonstrate the Benavidez punches in bunches. Pass track. I agree with the Tio, with the top 5. But the rest, not so much. 2 left hooks. David should be 3 or 4. Pot 9. When you look at the accomplishments, bro, you say he should be 3 or 4. He's not more accomplished than Bam. And he's not more accomplished than Shakur. Bam been undisputed, bro. Shakur's a 4-division champion. So, nah. And you also got to understand, Benavidez just climbed from number 7. He went from number 7 to number 5. But from number 7 to number 3, ahead of guys that are more accomplished than he is, nah, bro. You pushing it right there. Pass the track, I agree with the top 5. If Tank Ducky will... Wait a minute. If Tank Ducky will lock into a fight with Shakur, then get excited. Then I get excited. But Shakur got to fight, man. I mean, you can't fight somebody that don't want to fight you, bro. You can't force them in the ring. The letter M. I'm hearing of a Shakur versus Roach being spoken about. Look, I know that Shakur Stevenson, coming off of a big win versus Teofimo Lopez, he don't want to fight somebody that people are going to say, oh, that's a cherry pick. He cherry picking. Oh, that's an easy fight. You want to fight somebody that people say, yeah, look at that. Fighting top level guys, elite level guys. And then look what he did to Teofimo Lopez. You know, an elite level guy made to look like a yellow cab driver. Mickey Rourke. Ironic you said Tank a duck, but in the same sentence, Hope Core actually throw hands, pass a track. Imada 210. If Usyk leaves, does everything else move up? Would that work? Yeah, that's how it works. If Usyk was to retire today, everybody in the pound-for-pound list will move 1 spot up and somebody else will be included. That's exactly what will happen. Pass the track. Yeah, I'd like to see Usyk KO Wilder for his curtain call. Damn, why you want to see the Bronze Bomber go to sleep, bro? Why you got to do him like that? Come on, man. Let the Bronze Bomber live. Imada, we want Shaki versus Shakur. That's a possibility. At some point, we might get that fight. The letter M, if Shakur fight Rose Jr., that will show us how he can do with Tank. I mean, he's going to beat Lamar Roach, and Tank could have beat him. Tank need that get back. Because you guys know that Tank was gifted that draw. Tank was literally gifted a draw versus Lamar Roach. He lost that fight. You guys know that. Mickey Rourke, I like Shaki, but he is no comp for Core. Pass the track. No, I'm saying Shakur just needs someone to stay active. Let's see what's next. I think that he's gonna stay active. If you think about it, Shakur's a fighter who is usually right back in the gym after he fights and doesn't take too long to be seeking an opponent, which he seems to actively already be doing that. Fellas, this fight is approaching us. Xander Zayas versus Jerome Boost Ennis. Ooh, this is gonna be a showdown, my peoples. This is gonna be a showdown. And it's gonna be, look at this. You know I've been telling you guys that this fight is gonna be a lot more competitive than what some people say. I saw an interview from the great trainer, Ronnie Shields. And they asked him about this fight. And he said, Xander Zayas got what it takes to pull off the upset. I'm edging it to Boost. I'm giving it to Boost. He got Boost winning the fight. But he says Xander Zayas got the type of skills and the type of dog in him that if Boost is not having his best fight, he could get beat. If Boost go in and he's not 100% and he's not right, something is off, Sanders could beat him. Boost got to be at 100%. And he said, I know Boo's going to take him serious. They know what this kid is about. They're not going to overlook him. But this is going to be a good fight, fellas. This is a monster fight. Skipper Clipper. A lot of people got Boost by KO. I got Xander by decision. What you think, Jay Smith? So, oh no, you got Boost by decision. So, I haven't made a prediction yet for this fight. It's been tough for me to make this prediction. Because, just like Ronnie Shields said, man, Xander is for real. He's really that good. And I made a comparison. It's funny, sometimes I make comparisons and then I see other people making them and I be like, damn, that's funny. Were they watching me and said that shit? But you guys remember that I compared this fight to Tito Trinidad versus Fernando Vargas. I was like, Tito Trinidad, the older guy. Fernando Vargas was exactly 23 like Xander Zayas. He got pummeled. And I'm not going to say, but then I see on another channel somebody making the exact same comparison. And, yo, here's the funny one, my peoples. Somebody went on my Facebook, right? And they hit like to one of my videos. And it's somebody that doesn't follow me. Cool. And I wanted to see, who the hell is this person? And I went and I saw that they got a YouTube channel. And I went to the YouTube channel. How this dude, in the first video that he made after hitting the like, I see the guy start the video. Hey, how are you doing, my peoples? Let's get started with the show. I'm like, what the fuck? Bro didn't even sound right. So, y'all gonna be seeing people copying me, people trying to sound like me, trying to talk like me. That's crazy. That's crazy. Imada Boost by late stoppage. Ooh. Boost gonna give Xander Zayas the beating of a lifetime? That's what you're saying? The letter M. Y'all see how Zayas is looking He gonna beat Boo's ass. I don't know about all that, man. I don't know. There's a lot of confidence. A lot of confidence in Xander Zayas. B Wayne, bro. Ripped your whole shit, bro. That shit was funny as hell, though. Funny as hell. Like, I even thought about recording the video of him saying it. So I could post me and him side by side. But then I was like, yeah, I ain't even gonna do all that. But it just looked funny because the way he sounds saying it. He doesn't sound natural. It's like it's a phrase he's never said in his life type shit. Fellas, I want you to see something. So that you can see Boots has been on Xander Zayas on Top Rank's radar for some time. This is not new. Watch this. This is Bob Arum that you see right there. See that? I think Xander Zayas versus Jerome Boots Ennis would be a terrific fight. Ennis is a real good fighter. That would be a major fight. That's Bob Arum who said those words. And guess what? Look right there. Bob Arum said that shit back in 2025. Last year. So since last year, before they had left ESPN, Bob was already floating the idea of them fighting each other. They signed, Top Rank signs with the Zone, and the first fight they got for Xander Zayas is Jerome Boots Ennis. They for real. They for real. Mickey Rourke. Copy is flattery, Jay Smith. Maybe he admires you. So, you can't admire somebody that you're not giving flowers to. You know. He will admire me if he reposted one of my videos. He will admire me if he was like, yo, I got this from Jay Smith, some type of shout out. But you're not really admiring if you go in somebody's shit. The guy doesn't follow me. You would not admire me if you just go in my shit and start saying what I say and acting like it's you. Like his audience think, oh shit, he came up with a new flavor today. My peoples. But I digress. Jerome Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas, my peoples. Puerto Rico. An African-American fighter, a Puerto Rican fighter. There's a lot of history there. We're going to get to smoke with this one. Pasatrack just stealing lines, man. Listen, crazy. These social media streets is ruthless. Mickey Rourke. Boo's going to knock the highlights out of Zayas. Whoa. Gonna turn his ass to a brunette. Damn. Gonna do him in like that? The letter M. Because Jay, ghost watching and sneak hating. Yo, the ghost watching and sneak hating, some of it is for copying purposes. I get that. Jay is in that Jay Smith, don't say anything. He watching you in the shadows. Golly, bro. I'm gonna have to say, you know what? Any catchphrase that I can have, I'm not gonna say it anymore. Fuck it. I'm just not gonna say it. I'm gonna start the show like, my friends, my family, how are you? I hope you're all well. Pasatrack, they stealing your bars, Jay, like daddy, golly. And look, I'm gonna tell you this. This is something that somebody told me before. You were like, yo, Jay, you gotta understand something. There's gonna be people that are on bigger platforms that rather than tell you, oh shit, what you doing is fire, come with me and let's do it on my platform, they rather just steal your shit and do it themselves. Because then you show up, you're gonna steal their thunder. You're gonna steal their light. People will be like, oh, nah, fuck this nigga. Jay Smith, let me know what's up. They're like, nah. They rather try to say the things that you say and act the way you act and do what you do than bring you on. That's the reality. Sammy Chiba, my man said, this is Box Circle with H. Jones. No. Here's the funny part about it. It wasn't even a boxing page. It wasn't even a boxing channel. It's not boxing. But now he started his video with my peoples. How are you, my peoples? Sounding goofy as hell, too. Make it raw, J. Smith. I'm going over my PR mommy crib on fight night. I'ma be the only nigga there talking my shit. Her cousins die hard PR boxing supporters. I'm saying though, is everybody gonna be, opposing you, or you gonna have people on your side too? They could get chippy with the trash talking. Pass the track. That's some low life BS. It is what it is, man. I just gotta wait till I get my foot in the door. But at some point, you guys will see someone in social media in a bigger platform, and you guys should be like, damn, that's the shit that JB saying. Oh shit, JB saying that too. Oh shit. You'll see that and you'll notice it. Make you roar. Nah, I'm for sure the only one going for boats. Honestly, there's a lot of people saying that Boo's gonna knock Xander Zayas out. I've seen a lot of people saying Boo's gonna sleep him, Boo's gonna beat him up, gonna embarrass him, all type of shit. Because remember, there's that narrative out there that Xander Zayas is the weakest link in the out of the champions in 154. James Johnson, so many Mexican fighters getting caught juicing and winning titles. I see the trend. There's fighters from everywhere. Not just Mexican, because there's been UK fighters popping dirty. There's been fighters from Africa popping dirty. There's been fighters from everywhere popping dirty. From everywhere. James Johnson, Zayas gonna lose to Boo's, I believe. Boo's gonna be the favorite going into that fight. And most people feel like Boo's gonna win. Now, is Zayas gonna get washed? I don't know. I don't see that happening. I don't think Boo's just gonna smoke him. James Johnson, 70% boxers are on PED, brothers. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Because when you say 70%, that's a made-up number. It's really a made-up number. I don't think that's fair. Make you roar. Zayas Nas, you're gonna lose that parlay. Whoa. Look, man, right now, scared money don't make money. If you put money on Zayas, you could either lose or you could flip that, because he's gonna be the underdog. No getting around it. Make you roar. How do you come up with that number? Yeah, I don't know how you come up with 70%. That's like, you kind of like pull that number out of thin air. Pass the track. In the fight game, you're trying to get the edge, though. That's facts. Everybody's trying to get... Look, the reason you see fighters, staying in a weight class for years, like Tank Davis stay at 135, or you see guys that are shrinking themselves down, 2 divisions below where they should really be, is to get that advantage. But everybody's doing it. How much of an advantage is it when everybody's doing it? James Johnson. That's not made up as facts. The science drug cheat chemist will always be ahead of the drug testing board. Okay, but how do you correlate the drug testing, the chemist, the drug cheat to a number of 70%? It seems like you're taking information, and then based on that information, you're just crunching up a number of 70%. You can't do that, bro. There's nothing that you added up in this response that gives us 70%. So you're really pulling that number out of thin air, my guy. You just say, well, 70%, fuck it. How did you come up with 70%? Yeah, because the testing and the labs and the chemists, what the fuck? But the 70%, you're still not adding it up. Still doesn't add up. Your math is not mathing. 2 plus 2 is not science, drug cheat, chemist, drug testing. 2 plus 2 is 4. You're not doing that math. Pass the track. Yeah, it's like you're a most KO fighter, but just with a title, bit more power, he knocks them out. James Johnson, the minority of them only get caught, the majority of them use them, is the 70%. Man, listen, that mathematic is crazy, James Johnson. Mathematic, it doesn't work anywhere, but what you're saying, it might sound good, but that's horrible math, bro. Mickey Rourke. Johnson out here administering tests on these boxers. He has the official report. Damn, man, Johnson administering tests. Jay is in the house. I say 38% and got that number out of my ass. You got that number out of your ass? Where you think James Johnson got that number? He got it out of his ass too. James Johnson, it's not my math, brother. I will get the source. Bro, is that you're not getting any source for 70%. You're only saying that people cheat, that they're ahead of the curve, and that the testing is behind. Okay, if you're saying that, cool. I'm pretty sure that there's information to show that. But you haven't said one thing to support that 70%. Not one. So I don't need you to pull anything up. I need you to at least say something of where you got that number from, my G, because you haven't said anything about it. It's 70%. You just came up with it. Golly. How do you come up with these stats? The letter M. Zayas smoking boots. Whoa. You see that? That's why I don't understand. It's like the polar opposite. Some people feel like Jerome Busan is going to knock them out. You've seen it in the comments. But then there's others that say, nah, Sanders Sai is going to cook them. Sammy Chiba is actually 68%. I checked. Where do you check? In the toilet after taking a dump? Because then it doesn't count. Pasta track. All guys admitting to it, then we get the real numbers. The letter M. Tank avoided 98% of fighters. I mean, I'm telling you, man, these percentages, we got to forget about percentages. Made up percentages that we just throw them out there. Johnson was like, yo, it's 75%. Just trust me, bro. I figured it out. It's all in my head. The letter M, 70% of bullshit based on what my homie said. That's like this dude that told me, yo, bro, 50% of the time, I'm 100% right. I'm like, bro, what the fuck you mean 50% of the time you're 100% right? Then you're not 100% right because it's only 50% of the time, you goofball. What you talk? Yo, I was like in a 1 hour argument over that shit. What kind of percentage is that? How you come up with these percentages? James Johnson, boxing is as dirty as the UFC. PEDs, admitted or revealed, good for promotion reasons, of course. I don't know, bro. Again, I'm like, yo, 2 + 2. And you're like, yo, boxing is dirty, and the lab, and the chemist, and somehow that gives me 70%. Pasta track, put some sugar in the ring, and Tank jump the ropes. To put some sugar in his tank? Mickey Rourke. Trust me, bro. I was there, bro. I saw no power, bro. All PEDs, bro. James Johnson. You all delusional if you think otherwise. Probably more than 70%. You got it, big dog. That's it. Whatever number you came up with in your head, you got it. I don't even know what to tell you, family. You crunched numbers in your brain. I don't know what calculator you're working with. Do you, fam? Believe what you want to believe. On to the next one, fellas. It's fight week. Fight week. Wardley versus Dubois is going down. I don't think this fight goes the distance, fellas. I'm the one to tell you. Is this fight going 12 rounds? I don't see it. I don't see it. Dynamite Dubois versus Wardley is going to be an explosive showdown. They're going to trade some nasty leather. Make your predictions. And look, this is one of those times. It's already fight week. I've been holding on to this one. I already got my prediction for you guys, but I want you to make yours first. Who do you got winning this fight? JJ's in the house. 70.9% of conspiracy. I'm telling you, man, just leave the percentages alone and say what you believe. It's a lot easier for you to say, yo, I believe, look, I believe 70% or more are doing it. And it's easy to digest that because that's what you believe. You can believe whatever you want. You can believe it's 90% if that's what you want. But that's what you believe. But to say what you believe and also use the word fact into the same paragraph, bro, you delusional. The only person delusional is you. The only delusional person is you to take what you believe and turn it into a fact. You look how many responses you have had, and you still haven't been able to show where the hell do you pull that 70% from, bro? You really pull your source. What's your source? Trust me, bro. 70% or more. I calculated it myself. Skip a clipper. Jay Smith, I need you on this one. I got Fabio with confidence. Ooh. I'm going to give you my prediction. I see everybody ducking it. Everybody ducking it. So I'll tell you. The letter M. Yo, I laugh mad hard. 50% of the time, I'm 100% right. That's going to be my new shit to say. Bro, but how the fuck you 100% right 50% of the time? Kind of shit is that? And look, if you saying it, joking around, then it is funny. But the letter M is funny to you because we joking around. This nigga had me mad as hell. We went back and forth for like an hour. Bro, you cannot be 100% right 50% of the time you wrong. But 100% of 50% of the time, I'm 100% right. Some people you just can't convince them or they bullshit. JJ's in their house. It's just a joke, Jay Smith. Bro, trust me, it wasn't a joke. This motherfucker believed it. Believed it. And it was all over a Jay Stradamus prediction. Because he was like, you be right. But 50% of the time, I smoke you with my predictions. Oh, 50% of the time, he nicer than me. Because 50% of the time, he 100% right. La careta, loco. Mickey Rourke. I don't know, man. This would be a slugfest. Whoever gets sparked first. Could be Dubois. Could be Wardley. I need Jay Stradamus to help me out. I got you. I got you with this prediction right now. Right now. James Johnson. The Mafia. Oh, my God. This bro came talking about the Mafia now. You got it, big bro. Talk about Wardley and Dubois. The letter M. I heard Tio lost 70% power during the Shakur fight. Where's your power, bro? He may have lost 50% of the power 100% of the time of that fight. JJ's in their house. What? Yo, it was real shit, bro. We was arguing for real. Pasta track. I think what he means, he's batting 100% when he gets the 50% right. Get him the F out of here. JJ Sandeja fires the first warning shot. Mickey Rourke. I'm dying laughing. The Mafia. You mean Jersey Shore? I mean, what are we getting into, my peoples? Golly. Look, fellas, before we digress, I'll be the one to tell you. This is going to turn into a slugfest. I got mad respect for both fighters. Both are legit, elite level guys. However, the winner of this fight is going to be none other than Fabio Wardley. Much respect to Daniel Dubois. He is one of my favorite heavyweights in the game right now. But Fabio Wardley is on a tear. It's his time. It's his moment. And he's going to seize it on Saturday. There you have it, my peoples. That's the Jay Stradamus prediction. Don't waste your time going against me. Don't waste your time picking against me. Because you know how this plays out. We've seen it before. Wardley's walking out of there with the W. Bam. That's it. There you have it. The Hydro Grind. Benavidez versus Bivol at a catch weight for a historical fight. Nah, Benavidez though, you know, I thought that my expectations was that fight was going to happen at 175. I don't know about all the catch weight stuff. I've been hearing it. I've been reading about it. But I hope the fight is straight up not at a catch weight. Unless it's because Bivol's already planning to move up, so he fight at a catch weight to then move up. But if Bivol's going to stay at 175, I don't want to see it at a catch weight. Javier, Xander Zayas versus Ennis boost. It's a real 50-50 fight. It's more competitive than what a lot of people think. You know, there are those out there saying that Xander Zayas is going to get smoked, you're going to get cooked, all of that. Nah. Xander Zayas, he an elite level world champion. He's going to perform at the highest level. Boots is going to have to pull out all of the tools and resources that he got available to beat Xander Zayas. It's not going to be... This might actually turn into his toughest fight of his career. The letter M. I ate 70% of my breakfast watching Boxing for Breakfast on Box Triangle with Jay Smith. Listen, bro. I'm going to tell you like this. Before kicking off Boxing for Breakfast, I ran 70% at half speed and 30% at 100% speed when I did my little 6 miles this morning. The letter M. So I'm telling you, my people, these percentages, I don't know how we come up with, but I'm going to have to start coming up with percentages. Fuck it. 70. And I think it's easier for me to make predictions like that. Because then I can say 70% Dubois wins, 30% the Wardley wins. Then if the guy loses, I'll be like, I gave him 30%. I said it. And I'll always be right. James Johnson. You don't know shit. Side's going to light up boats. There you go. You see? There's people out there who believe that Zayas is going to do him in. There's people who believe it. It's not just everybody thinking Boost is going to run him over. And I told you guys, Coach Ronnie Shields said, this is going to be a very good fight. You know, he's edging it to Boots, but he's also saying, if Boots is not having his best day, this guy could beat him. This guy could upset him. Now, Boots a professional. He's not going to underestimate Xander Zayas and show up and get beat up. Nah. He's going to show up on his best game as well. The Hydro Grind, you training for a marathon? I want to run a marathon this year. I ran 9, so I want to run my 10th. The Hydro Grind, I got Zayas too. Do you got Zayas going the distance with him? Are they going the distance? Or is Zayas going to get the knockout? Because you see, there's been multiple people in the comments saying Zayas going to knock him out. JJ and else, please clean your ass. Percent, not 70%. James Johnson. His PEDs will see him through. I'm 70% sure. I'm 70% sure that you're delusional. And 30% sure that you're delusional. Pasatrack. Jay Stradamus is probably more accurate than Nostradamus. Because that dude was on some bullshit. And people connecting fake shit to nothing. Come on, man. Come on, man. Nostradamus, I cook him. Cook him. He a fraud. B. Wayne, I got Boost by 70%. There you have it. We're going to have to start doing percentages. That way, there's always a margin that if they lose, we still right because we gave the smaller percentage to the other guy. I see people making predictions like that too. The letter M. When I slide in a check, I only put in 70% before I give her the 100%. You don't give 110%. You see, you don't give her the extra inch. You wilding out, bro. 100%. You gotta give 110. Give her the extra inch. I hope we grown men over here. I hope everybody in the building know about the extra inch. If you're not giving her that, you cooked. Somebody else is. Make it Rourke. When was Zayas last KO? I'll wait. B Wayne. That's irrelevant. That doesn't even matter. B Wayne. I'm 100% right of my prediction half of the time. I mean, somebody tried to convince me of exactly that. They tried to convince me. James Johnson. Nostradamus was a... Oh, man, damn. My man want to talk about Nostradamus now. Try to stay in boxing, bro. Don't take it too serious. Try to stay in boxing. You're going to be okay, James. Make it Rourke. Not J. Smith. Give her 70%. Leave her waiting for more. Jay isn't that J. Smith. I'll give her everything and my balls. Skip a clip of J. Smith. Ben 1,000. Right to me since. Listen, fellas, listen. If you're not giving the ladies the extra inch, you wildin'. Because I haven't seen nobody bring up the extra inch. You got to give that too. James Johnson. You the nigga that was talking about, yo, we was joking around. You can move on, family. You're going to be all right. You're good. You're straight. Fellas, give her the extra inch. That's all I'm saying. The letter M, 70%. Hit the like button. There's a lot of ghost watching, man. Damn. James Johnson, you one of the ghost watchers? Are you ghost watching? I got a feeling. Make it Rourke. That extra inch means extra kids. Hell nah. I ain't got no extra inch to give everybody. Oh, man, so you don't know about the extra inch. Hold on, I'm going to have to put y'all on. Jay is that J. Smith, get him the F out of here. B. Wayne, what happens if I don't got 70% to give her? The letter M is J. Stradamus because he predicts well. He didn't get the point. He didn't get the point. He didn't get the point. And look, man, James Johnson, I'm sorry, but is that you a dummy? You a goofball? You jealous of me? You hate and envy and jealousy. That's why I didn't even block you, so you could stay on for a little bit. And that hate is oozing out of your pores. I don't know if you're sitting in a wheelchair right now, if you're eating vegetables, but your hate is oozing from your pores, buddy. Calm down. You're going to be all right. Bro said, your channel sucks. That's it. I had to listen to my brother JJ's and that's get him the fuck out of here. From the very beginning, looking like a dummy. The letter M, 70% hate. The Hydra grind. An interesting fact I saw was that Boost has only faced 3 undefeated fighters in 35 fights. Well, I think Floyd Mayweather fought 3 undefeated fighters in 50 fights. That's when he fought him. That's when he found him. Jay is in the ass. If you don't have that exact inch, buy an extension. Be Wayne. Let that simmer in your spirit. Look, I'm going to put y'all on, man, because it look like there's a lot of brothers out here that don't know about the extra inch. So I got to put you on. I want to make sure you know we're a family over here in the Box Center family, and I want to make sure you're giving it all you got, fellas. So look, man, all you got to do, my G, when you got that special person with you, right? You tell them, turn your punk ass over there, right? So you have, I want to make sure I don't get in trouble with the stream, so I got to be careful how I frame it, right? You put in that position like a canine. You guys know what I mean, right? And then as you are performing your act, what you do, my guy, is with your left or your right hand, however you feel more comfortable, you grab your own, how would I say, your own coconuts and you pull them back, and you're gonna find an extra inch. So now you give her everything that you give her, and that extra inch back. Hold it all the way over there now. Everybody got 1 extra inch. You're welcome. Everybody up in here should be paying me for this. Every single one who ain't giving up that extra joint, you should be paying me right now. You should be like, damn, Jay put me on, B. Jay put me on. I ain't never did this before. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody, you're welcome. I should at least got a goddamn like button on the spot. You say, God damn, some of you right now in your house, oh shit, I do got an extra inch. Ooh, I'ma tear shit up. See? Mac Duck Music never did that. Oh man, you wildin'. You wildin'. Next time, give up that extra inch and then you're gonna see the results. And then come back over here and be like, yo, Jay, salute to you. I appreciate you. Showed me at least a little bit of appreciation for giving you those jewels. Because you got to understand, look, I'm 47 years old. I got put on too at some point. I didn't know about that. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm laying the pipe, but I didn't know there was another extra inch. So I'm putting you on. That's all I'm saying. There's some shiesty motherfuckers out there keep it on the low. Don't tell nobody. And they the only one. Nah, you got that now. Shy Guy. Devin going to ZUFA is a done deal. Bill Haney says 100 mils. $100+ million deal for Devin Haney. Make it raw. Results will be pregnant your wife. Oh, you see that's it's a little bit more risky. You know, it is a little, it's probably 70% more possibilities of a pregnancy. So, you know, you got to have a better pull-out game when you're doing that. Your pull-out game got to be at least 90% better. Positive track. I calculated the extra inch to the whole equation. Whoa. Zayas and not Jake Smith, it's going to be your fault if more women in the hospital now. I already told you. You're going to use the extra inch, but you got to have 90% better pull-out game. Be Wayne. They gatekeep the extra inch. They be gatekeeping it, bro. You know how many people outside of this chat don't even know? Don't even know. How you don't even know? But one day, I guess I'm going to have to be on a stream with like thousands and thousands of people and put their ass on. The letter M Stroke Center. We're going to have to make a whole other channel to put people on. Fellas, skip a clipper. I don't want no ZUFA belt. I want them green ones. But here's the deal. You don't want a ZUFA belt, but you know why you don't want a ZUFA belt? Because nobody got one. That's why. But the moment you start to see Devin Haney got a ZUFA belt, Richardson Hitchens got a ZUFA belt, you start seeing these guys that are big stars that we respect them as champions holding that ZUFA belt. That belt is going to gain traction. It's going to have more weight to it. Like I told you guys before, the moment you put that ZUFA belt on Devin Haney, it's automatically a bigger, more important title. Zayas and Jay Smith with men's health segment. That was about men's health. That was about men's health. I mean, I don't know if it's about women's health. Y'all niggas gonna be tearing shit up after hearing this. Boxing track, boxing and coxing. Mickey Rourke. I don't know if it all came back and won. The ZUFA belt is disgusting. I mean, you know, maybe it's an acquired taste. Maybe after we see it long enough, we start to like it. Mickey Rourke, a shiny turd. The letter M, ZUFA will become the true earned belt because you have to fight your way up to the top. The thing about ZUFA, man, is that we're seeing it. On the ZUFA cards, the matchmaking has been exceptionally good. Almost, look, it's been 5 cards already. The next one I think is a 6. I'm almost sure it's like that. And in almost every card, you see an undefeated fighter losing their O. Why? Because they're matching them up evenly. On Zuffa, you're not going to make it to 25-0, 30-0. You're not going to build up that type of record unless you really are him. You really just can't be beat. But on Zuffa, you're going to see guys losing early on. Maybe get to 15-0, 10-0, boom, take a L. 25, 30-0 on Zuffa, you're not going to see that shit. And when you do see it, it's a legitimate world champion that you're looking at. You're looking at somebody who has beat some tough opponents to get there. Real tough opponents. Fellas, somebody else who's fighting. Somebody else who's back in action. David Morrell. Morrell versus Chelli is going down. Co-main event. Or I don't know if they're labeling it the co-main event, but it's right before the main event. Under Daniel Dubois. And Fabio Wardley. Come on, my peoples. David Morrell is a fighter who took 1 L in his career to none other than the Mexican Monster. But I've said this before. David Morrell is the type of fighter that I see becoming a world champion. I see him holding a belt. I don't know when, where, how. It's kind of like Ryan Garcia, where I've always felt like Ryan Garcia was going to become a world champion. And I've said that a long time ago. And people used to knock me for that. Nah. He'll never hold a belt. There you have it. And he became a world champion. That's not an email title. He didn't get elevated. He won his title inside the ring. The Hydro Grind Morrell will destroy this bum. So you guys know every time, a star fighter is facing somebody that we don't know, I always like to review that fighter's resume, see what he's about. The letter M. We always transition back to boxing so smooth. That's what we do, bro. That's what we do. It's a boxing channel, right? So we could sidetrack here and there into different topics, but we come right back to boxing because that's what we about, right? Zack Chelli. Skipper Clipper. I got Zack by decision. Zack Chelli has a record of 16 wins, 8 knockouts, 3 losses. He lost to 3 guys that were undefeated. But, fighters with not a lot of experience. A guy that was like 10-0, a guy like 14-0. But he's never been in the ring with anybody even close to David Morrell. I look at his resume. In fact, it looks like a padded record. And matter of fact, let me not say it's a padded record because, he's he only 16 fights in. Well, he's 19 fights into his career, but early on, his record looked just like everybody else. Faced some undefeated fighters with, early records. 5-0, 6-0, stuff like that. Beat him. Has lost to some fighters that had not taken an L when they faced him. So he seems to have lost to good fighters. To good boxers that, not top level guys, but good boxers. Never been in there with nobody like David Morrell. So I expect Morrell to win this fight, possibly in devastating fashion. If Zack Chelli, I've never seen Chelli fight. If he's the type of guy that's going to use a lot of footwork, a lot of movement, stuff like that, then maybe he could go the distance. But if he's going to stand there and fight, Morrell's going to knock him out. It's going to be a nasty beating. The Hydro Grind, Morrell is an Olympian. Morrell's an elite level guy. Mag Dump Music, Morrell getting the KO. I see all the Canelo nut riders crying about the Benavidez elbow. Listen, Morrell is going to, 1, knock this guy out. That's how I see it happening. And number two, the Benavidez elbow is only the usual haters. Nobody's talking about that shit. If you think about it, anytime that you see somebody talking about the elbow and trying to make it seem like it's because of the elbow that he won, it's always going to be the same usual suspects. Same shit. Skip a clipper. Zack is going to stand there and fight Jay Smith. If that means it's going to be an early night, it's going to be an early night if he's going to do that. If he's going to try to stand there and fight with David Morrell, he's going to get beat up brutally. The letter M. Chelli Chin. Check it incoming. Corey Lee boxing. What's up, everyone? Salute, Corey. Bam. The Hydro Grind. The humanity. Look, man, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I'm expecting David Morrell to dish out the beating of a lifetime. Beating of a lifetime. This guy ain't never been in there with nobody that has the talent level of David Morrell. What can you expect? He's going to be a deer in the headlight. To me, this is a fight put together to make David Morrell look good. Let's get him an opponent that's going to fight back, but ultimately, he's going to beat him up. The Hydro Grind. Devastating blow to Chelli's wig piece. It could be that. It could be one of those that sleeps him. Because Chelli ain't got nothing for David Morrell, bro. He just ain't got nothing for him. Corey Lee boxing. They give him Morrell a layup on this one. And I believe David Morrell coming, off of a loss, a little bit of inactivity. I expect David Morrell to take that alley-oop. Boom! Slam dunk it. He's going to do what he has to do. The letter M. Mad boxers do that elbow shit and nobody even mentions it. Now because Benavidez, it's an issue. Pugilism. Elbows can be used to frame. It's the fight game. Every action has a counter action. And the thing is, man, it happens. It's a combat sport where we throwing hands at each other. An accidental elbow, an accidental headbutt, an accidental everything. Shit happens. But it shouldn't even be a topic of conversation because Benavidez was beating the shit out of him. He was giving him the beating of a lifetime. He dropped him. Before that, he had dropped him already. So, the elbow don't mean shit. He would have still knocked him out. It was still going to be a brutal beating. We shouldn't even be talking about it. Now, if you tell me that Zurdo Ramirez was winning the fight and Benavidez, boom, elbowed him and then turned it around and he beat him after that, then I'd be like, yeah, we got to talk about the elbow. But the elbow shouldn't even be a point of conversation. We should not even be talking about that elbow. If you notice, I've never brought it up. I respond to people bringing it up. But that shouldn't even be a conversation about no elbow. The Hydro Grind. Caleb Smith postponed the fight twice, so Morrell's team decided to still make him fight to get that rust off. Mac Dump Music. Why can't they say it? The Mexican Monster beats dog shit out of Zurdo. Beat the shit out of him, bro. Beat him up. You guys saw it. That's the reality. Even before the elbow, Benavidez was giving Zurdo the beating of a lifetime, my peoples. So what are we even talking about? It was a beatdown. The letter M. Zurdo got beat down off straight hand skills. Beating of a lifetime. Mickey Rourke. Caleb would be a better matchup. I believe so. It's a better matchup and a name for him to put in his resume. But, unfortunately, for Chelli, not unfortunately, Chelli's going to get himself a nice little check, probably a career payday for him, because he never fought at this level. But he's going to get beat up. Skip a clipper. Zurdo versus David Benavidez rematch. No elbows. Who wins? I could picture people saying that. I can actually picture people saying that. But this is what we're going to get. This is what we're going to get right here. Zurdo, by the way, would never get in the ring with Benavidez again. Zurdo would never fight Benavidez again. He don't want to take two pummelings, two beatings of a lifetime. Bro, when you take a beating of a lifetime, it's supposed to be just one. That's it. You took one beating of a lifetime. He don't want to take two of those, bro. Pass the track. I'm going to start boxing promotion called Crybaby Boxing. Whoa. The letter M, a rematch. A worse ass whooping. Mac Dump Music. Benavidez Bivol in talks supposedly. That's right. And I'll tell you what. Dimitri Bivol is all about that smoke. So to me, this is my personal opinion. If they're already talking, that means this fight's going to happen. It's the inevitable. Because Bivol is about that smoke. Benavidez, of course. He really is a monster. So we're going to get this one. And I'll be the one to tell you right now. Trust me on this. Dimitri Bivol is going to turn out to be David Benavidez' toughest opponent of his career. Remember I told you that. You know why? Because styles make fights. We all know this. I've said this before. The guy who's going to beat David Benavidez is going to be someone who can box. Someone who has great footwork. Someone who has great movement. Someone who's not going to stand in front of him. Who doesn't have to try to outgun him. But instead is going to outbox him. Dimitri Bivol has tools and resources to do that. We might even see Benavidez fall behind on the cards early and need to win the championship rounds to get the W. Or we might see him win by split decision. Like, this is going to be a real competitive fight. Bivol is no joke, and we all know this. That's why he made Canelo look like a Burger King third shift supervisor. That's why. Bivol is no joke. And by the way, let me also point out, Dimitri Bivol is number 6 on the pound-for-pound list. Benavidez is number 5, and Bivol is number 6. So a win over Bivol, where is that going to land David Benavidez on the pound-for-pound list if he's already at number 5? Mac Dump Music, do you think Benavidez fight Usyk? If he beats Bivol, no. If he beat Bivol, he's going to go after Beterbiev, then Jai Opataya, and then maybe he'll consider moving up to heavyweight, which is the right thing to do. At 28 years old, it would be dumb to move up to heavyweight because now you're going to have to struggle to move back down. And you remember what happened to Roy Jones Jr. after he went to heavyweight and went back down. So it's a bad move. If he's going to go to heavyweight, the best thing to do is do it at the end of his career when he knows he'll never move back down. Not at 28 years old. That doesn't even make no sense. The Hydro Grind. Can't wait to see how Bivol looks versus Eiffel after that surgery. I think he's going to look good. You know, he had enough time to do his rehab, heal, have a full training camp. I expect Dimitri Bivol to be his usual self. Pass the track. Bivol cannot get shook because then Benavidez going up a combo to the, get him with a combo and take him to the mat. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. Dimitri Bivol is probably the guy who has the best chance to beat Benavidez because of the way he fights, his style. The way, look at his fight with Canelo Alvarez. You know, he moves around. Canelo was never able to land a good combination on him throughout the whole fight. A simple bam, bam, bam. Canelo did not land clean on Dimitri Bivol. He couldn't. Why? Because Bivol is the type of fighter that you touch me and I'm moving. Whether I'm moving to the left, whether I'm moving to the right, or it's a quick step back. The footwork in Dimitri Bivol is next level, my people. So he's going to give Benavidez a real good fight. He's actually going to make Benavidez have to chase and have to cut the ring. And he's going to catch him with some good counter shots. It's going to be a good fight. Dimitri Bivol is not going to stand in front of Benavidez, in front of Zurdo, and just get pummeled. Skip a clipper. Bivol can stick and move all night long. He did it to Canelo. Canelo never had a moment. Even having him with his back up against the ropes, Canelo couldn't catch him with those shots. Making him miss like crazy. Mickey Rourke. Bivol is like that. First time is going against the Mexican monster, because Bivol got Davis' number by 70%. Pass the track. And Canelo is smaller. Canelo's short. But Dimitri Bivol versus David Benavidez, my peoples, you got the number 5 and the number 6 pound-for-pound fighters. So I'm going to ask you the magic question. You guys saw the pound-for-pound list. You guys saw it. If Benavidez at number 5 beats Bivol, who is number 6, where do you guys think he goes on the pound-for-pound list? Look at the top 5. Inoue, Usyk, Shakur, Bam, Benavidez. If Benavidez beat the number 6 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, where is he going to land on the pound-for-pound list? Pass the track. 4. Getting Bam out of there. I said that too. I said it earlier. Pugilism. Proper style wars. M. Bison Bivol versus E. Honda Benavidez. Mac Dump music. Got some ridiculous hand speed. His hand speed doesn't get the credit it deserves. And that's the thing, man. His size, just think about it. You saw what he did to Surdo, right? Like, you put it together 10, 15 punch combinations where the guy don't even have a chance to react. There is nobody in that division that's going to be able to match that punch output. There is nobody in that division that can match that hand speed. Nobody. That's why I say Dimitri Bivol, with the ring IQ, with the footwork, is probably the only guy who stand a chance. Besides Dimitri Bivol, everybody getting cooked. Pass the track. Yeah, but you got to stop a guy from sticking to set up a combination. Of course, Dimitri Bivol has what it takes to do that with that footwork. You can't hit somebody who's not in front of you. The letter M. I don't see Bivol stopping those punches in bunches. I'm sorry. The footwork can neutralize that. Or at least take away the consistency to where you can't do it in every round because you don't find him. He's not there for you to do it in every round. Mr. Dubois, we got to see how he come back from his back injury. I think it was an elbow. Wasn't it an elbow or a shoulder injury that Bivol had? Pugilism. Always have and still have Bivol, Shakur, Canelo, Benavidez top 4. Usyk is apex. Heavyweight predator and wins at all weight classes. The thing about Usyk is that, remember, the pound-for-pound list is not about whether you're an apex predator and all of that. It's about who you beat. And it's not a lifetime achievement award either. It's about who you beat lately, too. Usyk is going to fight Rico, my God. While Inoue beat a pound-for-pound fighter. Look, he already lost a spot. He was number 1. Now he's at number 2. So, Usyk's spot is not even secure in the top 5. If he was to fight Deontay Wilder next, and these other guys fight world champions, you might see Usyk drop off the pound, at least drop off the top 5. We might see him out of the top 5 because of the opponents that they're facing. The letter M. Bivol has a herniated disc in his back. Can his movement still be the same? We'll find out. We'll definitely be finding out. Pugilism, Canelo's still top. He only lost to Floyd, Bivol, and Bud. Name a fighter better than Canelo's best 3 losses. I mean, Canelo's not even on the pound-for-pound list, bro. He's not on the pound-for-pound list. Mr. Dubois, August 2025, he had back surgery. Back problems or serious problems, of course. But it's all about the rehab. If it's in good shape, it's not going to matter. Mickey Rourke, he only got his ass kicked. I mean, you know, people are going to frame it the way they want to, but ultimately, the 3 fights that Canelo lost, got schooled by Floyd, schooled by Bivol, schooled by Crawford. He got schooled by all of them. Macked up music. Benavidez cuts the ring off. He's not a fouler, and his defense is solid. He slip punches pretty damn good. Future Hall of Famer for sure. Oh, nah. David Benavidez is not just a future Hall of Famer. He's going to go down in the all-time great list. Like, he's aiming for that. Because there's fighters that they'll be great for their generation, but then when you talk about all time, it's like, I wouldn't put him all the way there. He was good in his time, you know, at some point in his career. But David Benavidez is one of those guys who, just look at it like this. He's number 5 in the pound-for-pound list. He might fight Dimitri Bivol next, who's number 6. He's going to keep moving down, and he might be headed for the number 1 spot. But you know that Inoue is holding on to that spot as hard as he can. Shakur's going to be gunning for it. Bam is going to be gunning for it. This top 5 is crazy right now. Pugilism. And Bailey can't even guarantee a win versus Munguia. Yeah, you're going to be fighting Canelo next. Let's see. B. Wayne, Bivol ring IQ was something else against Canelo and Beterbiev. And has a crazy work ethic. And that's why I say that Dimitri Bivol has a chance against David Benavidez. I expect Benavidez to be the favorite, but he's not watching him. This is going to be a real good fight. You could believe it. This is going to be a very competitive fight. But with that pound-for-pound list looking like it's going to be moving around depending on who fights who and who wins, who loses, what's next for Shakur Stevenson? A.K.A. the Puerto Rican Poppy. Make it work. That's what scares me. Mr. Dubois, he had a herniated disc for 10 years. Waited too long to address it, and it became a vertebral stress fracture. Let's see how they dealt with it. You know, let's see, because if he has successful surgery, that's going to have zero impact on his fights. He's going to be himself again. So we're going to focus on, you know, something that he had but already fixed. We got to see the results when he get in the ring. Let's see how he fights. He got a fight coming up. Let's see. But my peoples, right now, we don't know who Shakur Stevenson is going to fight next. We've seen his name be floated around at some point with Devin Haney, with Conor Ban, with Lamar Roach. I'm not sure with who else. But right now, Shakur Stevenson is the number 3 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He got Bam right behind him and Benavidez right there too. And then in front of him, he got Usyk and Inoue. If Usyk is going to decide to fight Wilder or get another easy fight, Shakur Stevenson is going to overtake him for that number 2 spot. Going to overtake him. And then, if Bam Rodriguez beats Naoya Inoue, Inoue is going to drop. And Shakur might actually end up at the number 1 spot, pound for pound in the world. But the top 5 is shaky right now because Benavidez fighting Bivol, he's going to move up somehow, some way. Bam is looking like he might end up fighting Inoue after his next fight. That fight will have the list shifting. And then if Usyk don't fight, you know, a champion, he's going to slide. That'll make the top 5 shift. So the pound for pound list right now is a lot of great fighters in there. Everybody deserves to be there. But that list is not set. I feel like that list is going to be moving around. You're going to see a lot of movement for those fighters in the top 5. My peoples, there you have it. This has been today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. Mac Dump Music, Mickey Rourke, Mr. D. Bonilla, B. Wayne, Pugilism, JJ Sendejas, Pasta Track, the Hydro Grind, the letter M, and everybody else who tuned in, fellas. You already know what it is. I'm Jay Smith. This is Boxing for Breakfast. Shaggy, salute, family. Later on today, I will be live again. Stay tuned. I'm going to put out a little notification. And we're going to talk boxing, my peoples. We're going to do what we do. Any updates, anything that happens throughout the day, we'll discuss it later on. One love to everybody who tuned in. I'll see you guys later. Bam! We out of here, my peoples. Let's go make this money.